What up, my people? Today we're gonna be hi guys. Today we're going to be analyzing based on next week. So yeah, market insight, right? Let's delete this whole 40 drawings. Or better still, let's keep 40. Let me see what is in 40 drawings that I drew. Looking to the mirror because we put it on the I think the charger is what is making it like that. So oh shit. So this is what I have for 40 images. How did I get 40 drawings? I don't know. But this is what I have. So I'm going to delete everything. Then we start again, right? So I would want to be looking at the weekly. Remember, I'm a scalper, but I'm looking at the weekly. What am I looking at on the weekly? Looking at structure. Where is the last low structure created? The low that brought the high. Where is it? Is this one? Where is it? This is the low that brought the high. Sorry, this is the low that took that high, right? So will I be paying attention to that? No, because this is the weekly time frame. But just know that this low is important, right? Then you mark the week that ended, it's low, right? So I'll be paying attention to this. Then I don't want to look at the daily, but let's just look at the daily, right? So you see on the daily, if I'm going to mark a zone now, I'm not going to focus on that low. I'm only focusing on this low. That's on the daily. Then to this high. Sorry, for next week. For next week, this is where I'm focusing on using the daily time frame. Then let's drop down to 3 hours. You see, we have this as daily. So 3 hours now. What is happening? I'm only going to mark this because if you should look at this, where is the low that brought the high? I think it's this one, right? This is the low that brought this high. If you understand important candles, you know what I'm talking about. And this is structure too. So this low brought the high there. But there's this one too. Yeah, that price is currently reacting to. So if you ask me to map out structure from just this leg, let me show you what it will look like. If I'm following my principle, it will be like this, and then like this. That's why I marked this one. But if I'm not, I'm using normal market structure. That okay, price made this high, made this low, and this low led to this high, made this low. This one led to this and made this, right? And this made to this, then to this. Now I'm using multiple time frame structure. Because if I should drop, you see what I'm marking, right? Made this to this low, to this high, then to this low, then to this high. So you see how I got this one and how I got this one. So let's see what the week will do. So now I'll be dropping at okay, we are already at 3 hours, right? So this is daily low, and this one too is daily low. The weekly low is around this zone. So around this zone, we might have a rejection of price. Did price get to somewhere here? Because there's a demand zone here and everything here has been mitigated. So this is what I have here. I have a zone here. I don't want to confuse you. That's why I love to just put just two, just two on the chart, two lines on the chart. So, but let's leave these ones. Let's leave these ones. Let's just label. So this is from daily, right? So I want this to be below because it's down. Okay, look at it here, daily. So I want this at the top, daily. Okay, and now this is 3 hours, 3H. And this is 3H. So that's what I have here in this particular analysis. So this is what I have. So you'll be wondering why I stayed, why I'm more focused on this because this is the one that made the last impulse. So after this small break here, this brought this high. Do you understand? So here, this brought this high before it made this. So this brought this high. This brought this high. Then this particular one here brought this high. So these are where I am paying attention to. So we'll go to the 15 minutes and see what is happening in this zone. So as you can see from here, this is how I get my daily entry, right? That's if I want to have an entry. What I will just do now in this case, when I come to the market, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I see or whatsoever price is doing from this left hand side. You understand? I mark what is happening now. For instance, I'm marking here, which has already broken, and the low that brought it is with this one. So where do you think I can possibly buy? Because this has already broken. I'm looking for buys, right? Buys to where? And again, another question, buys to where? Where am I looking at? So we have two zones here. We have one here that price has not mitigated, and we have another one here. So this is where we are paying attention to. If I am scalping or day trading, this is what I am looking out for to see what price is doing. But remember, in the long run, price has already mitigated this low and has failed to break. From which time frame? From the 3 hours time frame. So you might see this as a break, but trust me, because if I start explaining using different concepts, you'll see that this is a reversal. Let me use one. Using my important candles, it has been breaking all from here. In fact, from here, because this is the last printed important candle, this long black one. So you see this candle break it, this one broke, and this one failed to break. Do you see? So this is causing a CRT. Candle range using CRT now, it is giving a valid confirmation on the CRL, the CRL. Yes, that's candle range low. So if you use this and you see this is what I usually use to enter. If I see this and it breaks, I wait for a retest and enter. Retest on what? On this candle. The first tab is creating a liquidity, and the second tab is the entry that tends to break the high that brought it. I don't want to start giving you theories. I just want practical stuff. That's one. That's one of the things. And for the second one, I wouldn't have entered if I want to enter, but remember, we are just talking about where to enter in this case. So we have a break, and where do you think we could possibly enter now? We don't know what price is going to do next, whether it's reversing or anything, but as you can see, it closed above this high. So the zone we are looking out for is this candle. This is our demand zone. So we want to see what price we do in this zone. So you see, we've created a range now. So we have a confirmation here. We are buying it to this zone. And depending on what you're risking, you might be done maybe for the week or for the month. It doesn't matter. But this is my view. This is how I would do an analysis, a full blown analysis using the strategy I'm using right now. Remember, I've been preaching about important candles. You might think I did not talk about important candles, but trust me, it's very important here. So, so as we are having this, we have this causing a swing. Let me show you using important candle. So you're having this push from here. This is a break. This is a break to this blue. This is a break to this blue. This is a break to this one. But this here broke this one, causing a valid swing. A valid swing. Now I'm combining everything I know. I don't want to confuse you. So this is a valid swing and price failed to break here. I'm going to zoom. Then it did break till this point. That is why I even still have a zone here. Yeah, in case you don't know how I got that zone, did you see? This is the important candle that is printed. This this one that is has more volume. I will have more liquid, but this that has this move like this. Did you see? So this is the last important candle that has there, but the supply zone that brought it, that made it, did not was not mitigated. So we have this zone as unmitigated, and the structure actually broke here, not here, not here. This is a liquidity grab. Do you understand? Causing a candle range validation of the candle range stuffs. So you see, it grabs the liquidity that brought it. So if I should enter around this place after the close of this one, if I should enter, where I'm targeting is this high. Do you understand? But since what I'm teaching you is holistic, I might be targeting this one. I might be the safest one is this one, but I might be targeting this particular one. Do you understand? Because it is actually in line with the trend until price did what it did and it broke. So you this might be maybe what they call it, a break even trade, where you partial out at this place because this is TP1 and this is TP2. So I don't want to go too deep, right? I've already shown you what I'm expecting. That should price open, of which I know it might happen before the session open, before the whole session stops. And remember, we have a daily low down here, down here. So me, from my own view now, one of these zones should be able to hold it. If not, I am just a reactive trader. I don't want to see price will come here and then it doesn't come here and you don't believe me. I'm a reactive trader. I'm not predictive. So whatever price does in these zones is what I'm going to take. Look for the next zone and get out. So you can do that in the higher time frame too, but because I'm using 15 minutes right now, which is some people's entry time frame, my entry time frame is 1 minute actually. So you see where we differ as traders based on personalities, our personality actually. So you can do whatever pays you, but this is my own view of it. So you see, it has gathered a lot of liquidity, and let's see, this zone on the lower time frame has been mitigated by this week. So I don't know whatsoever happens though, but just pay attention to this particular one first. When price reach to the first zone, you pay attention to it, right? Most people likes to keep limit orders. They like to keep limit orders on zones. I'm not a fan of that because it has burnt me a lot of times. It has burnt my hand, so I've learned from it not to ever do it. So I'm seeing some signs of rejection here. So we have this. as the low that brought the high, right? Should price do something like this, I'm going to look for a zone here where I will see price reacting to, and I'll sell. Maybe to the low that brought this whole thing from the 15 minutes. So the low that I marked here might be my next target because I'm seeing rejection, despite the fact that it closed. It is not actually it is actually a good candle to close with, but you see this candle, this next candle, the next 15 minutes candle actually will determine, will I would see would tell me what to do next. So as you can see, for now there's a close, so I expect this zone to hold unless price says otherwise. So I'm going to see what price is going to do. And if should it hold, where I will be targeting is from here to here, right? So let's just say I got an entry here, and how many pips on gold? This is 698 pips on gold. If you can catch from here to this place, depends on your risk to reward. So that's why the whole thing will differ now. So let's see. That's for gold. That's the gold analysis I have for today. And also, I was checking a new pair. It's not actually new, it has been here, but I've known about it, but I just decided to back test with it. I know you'll be thinking what happened and stuff like that. So let's go to the 3 hours, right? The 3 hours. I would need a new chart so that I will show you the whole drawings I had on this. So you see, let's say you come on the chart on the 10th of October, which is Friday. That's previous week. That's the previous week Friday, right? Not just this one that is yesterday. So you see, you are marking this. This is what happened that day. This impulse. So the next week it came on the charts, and you have this. This is Sunday, and price tend to react here on Wednesday. That right? So price tend to react here on Wednesday. Let me show you important candle where it play a vital role. You can take a trade here. You can take a trade here. Hmm? Target this low as your first TP. Why am I targeting this low? No, this is even the first TP that got swept, right? Which is keeping us with this range because this broke this. This broke this. And this is the high that brought it. So you can also enter here to take this low. I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to confuse you. Let's just keep it here. So now, what I'm saying is, as you can see, price is not break here. And this high brought this low, right? So since this high brought this low and the attempt for this to break did not happen, I'm expecting this low to be run. I'm expecting this low to be run, right? And that is why I was just drawing lines now. So now, since price did this low, brought this high, and it broke this particular one, because in this case, we are going to be looking at this low bringing this high, and now there's a break after a retracement, which broke and break of structure. Now we are looking at two things. So this is actually a confusion. This is a break of structure, right? This is a break of structure. And this particular one tend to hold because this one brought this one and it made a retracement to this low. So this low brought this high. Do you understand? This low brought this high. Then this high brought this low. So this high brought this particular low, of which this low brought this particular high. Then this high now is what I tend to say is protected, this particular one here. And now I would be looking for entry here because this particular one, this one here, is what brought this one. So this is where we are paying attention to. So I'm going to delete everything. Then I'll show you area of concentration where I'm concentrating at for the coming week, right? So after this happened, let me just use this. After this happened, this is the original one, targeting this one now. This is our overall target, but our TP1 is this low. This is our TP1 that this particular high brought. So this is where we are. This is where we are. And we are going to mark the supply zone that took it. I don't know which of the highs is higher. Let's see. Anyone, sure. But this is what we have. I think they are equal highs. Then I'll drop to the lower time frame. The lower time frame. This is what is happening here. But my mentor would say, okay, it has already mitigated. I guess it has because we have this supply zone here. So it's good to identify it. It's good to identify it, but this is what we have. So now I'm not entering. I'm not entering any trade until I see a confirmation that price is going to is flipping. Price is flipping. So what I'm paying attention to right now, if I say I'm going to pay attention to this smaller one, it has already flipped. I'm just waiting for a mitigation here to enter. But what I am actually paying attention to right now is this particular one. This one here and this one here. So you see, I'm doing one thing over and over. Whatsoever I did in the higher time frame, I'm doing it in the lower time frame. Let's go to 1 minute so that you see what I'm saying. No, not GU, US 30. US 30. So we have, was it here I was using? Yes, this is what I was using. So you see what I was saying, that it has already happened. If I was using um the lower time frame. So this low is what brought this high. But I don't know if you are aware of multiple time frame analysis, where multiple time frame structure rather, where you have structure in the higher time frame, then in the intermediate time frame, then in the lower time frame. So that's structure in every time frame. So it happens in every time frame. So but for this one, as you can see, after this low made this high, there is a break of structure here. So we are going to wait for a retest of this. This is the low, right? We're going to wait for a mitigation around 50% of this particular move up. This one. So 50 and above. So we are looking at entry around here. Anything around here is where we are looking at to sell if the bias is right. Do you understand? So what I am seeing here is this particular zone. So this is how my brain is thinking when I'm trading. This zone. So let me delete this to reduce the zones. So this particular candle is what I am going to pay attention to. And it should price come here, I'm not just entering, I'm going to see what price is doing. So let's say price happens like this and it's coming up to this zone, right? And it did something like this, and it did something like this, and it did something like this. I would enter here, then I'll take it down. This is what I'm going to do. So now, how far down? How far down? You will now understand why all these markups are here. This is your TP1 to partial out. This is TP2, and this is the final TP3. So if price should do this and cause an equal low and it breaks and it did this, this is what I'm going to do exactly. Take it and I'm done. You get? But if it didn't and it breaks, fine. We follow price, right? We follow what price is doing because price might not even take this as TP1. Let me show you the real TP1. The real TP1 is the low that brought it, which is this. So you see, you have a lot of TPs on this, which is this low. And this zone here, because this is the origin of the move. This place here is the origin of this whole moves, because if you are going to use the main structure, this is the high and this is the low. This is the high and this is the low. And if you look at the low that brought the main high, there's a zone there. So if we have this, this might tend to hold. Sorry, we have this might decide that it is going to hold because it is the origin of the move. And we have space here. We have a lot of look at this big imbalance. And we have this what do they call it, demand zone here. So you see there's a zone here. So this is me breaking markets for you. This is me breaking markets for you. So I don't want you to be predictive, but I just want to show you the whole zones because most of you would want to predict that if price doesn't do this, then it should. No. Just mark and wait. See what price will do in those areas you are marking. You understand? But if you have TP1, TP2, you are good. Say, let's say price let me look for a sell. And we have here TP right above here. And this is 1:3 or there about 1:4. Right? So this is TP1, this is TP2, depending on the one you can hold. Right? So TP2 is at 1:9. Right? And if you are his own type of guy, because this will serve as liquidity. Many people will say it's because the inducement and blah blah blah. I don't like this story. I just read what price does. So, and this is the last one, 1:11. So you choose your struggle. And if you buy my whole idea of price revising here, you could actually take it here and make it 1:29, or better still, take it here and make it 1:37. Choose your struggle. Why am I expecting it to reach this low? Because of this reaction here. This place failed, which means it is targeting the low that brought it, which is this low. So you see, as simple as that. So this is my view on USDC and gold. So let me see if I have something on. Let me just try and quickly do something on GBP USD. I don't want to use this. Let's use this because I already have some markups there and I'm not ready to clean them. So we'll start from the weekly as usual. I've been using this chart for how long? I don't know. Ah, okay. This is what we have. This is March 2024. Wow. That's the last time I marked this. So we are on weekly. What is price doing? Remember what I did? First thing I did was to see what the candle was doing, and then I marked the low or high, whether it is important or not. So what am I seeing here? I'm seeing GBP USD bearish. Why? It is causing a retracement. That's a pullback. A pullback to where? Maybe this low. This low. But what am I actually paying attention to? Here is let's see. However, the thing is this high. This high is the important high. What did I mark? Let's see this. I would need to zoom to know exactly what I'm doing here. Yes. So we'll see. Since you want to stress me, I refuse to be stressed. If you've known me earlier, you would have known that GU is my favorite currency. Then, then it was my favorite. So this is the high. This is my high. But if I'm going to mark that zone here, hmm, it is this high that brought that low. You know the story, right? This high brought this low. But let's go to, and if you notice, I am a type of person that only pay attention to from 3 hours down, not the daily blah blah blah. So we have this brought this, right? And we have a zone here. So this might likely break this one. It's likely going to break it because we have this. And if you are to follow the structure, we have this, and this has mitigated, but we are targeting the lows here. The lows are what we are targeting because this is a structural break of which this has mitigated this particular area, and it is coming down and forgot to mitigate this. I mean, it didn't return to mitigate this. I don't know what price is doing, whether it's forgetting or not. But we have these zones marked. Let's go to 3 hours, right? In 3 hours, this is the daily, which is our overall target. And what do we see here? Why is price reacting here? Is it the supply? Is it the supply? It did not mitigate it, which means you should expect it to maybe revisit. We don't know. Whatever price does, we follow, right? We follow. So you see this, this, this has been mitigated, and this is a confirmation, double confirmation on this going down on the 3 hours time frame. But let's just leave it at this now. So I don't need this one. I don't want you to focus on it. Where I want you to focus on is this particular area and this particular in the 3 hours. right? Of which we have seen that it is rejecting already from this particular zone. Let's go to 15 minutes where we are going to focus. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah. Let me see. We have an equal high here. And we have a zone here, which we have a breakout structure here. And this low brought it. So let's see what price is going to do. It might tend to react here. But remember, our overall bias is a downtrend. We want to be selling, not buying, right? But there's a breakout change of character here, of which this is liquidity due to the break of this. This is liquidity grab, and we want to be selling. But also, this is also a liquidity of, oh God, why am I talking about liquidity? It's confusing me. But remember, this push down, this particular leg failed, and this is the original one that pushed this one up because this was weak enough to take this high. Then it caused this particular short move, then moved. And as you can see, we have a rejection from this zone here. That's why I'm marking this one. Why am I marking this? Because we have liquidity graph here. Let's see if this is still recording. Yeah, I've been talking for 36 minutes. So you see, this is what I have. Liquidity graph of this particular kind. So this is CRT, those trading CRT. So if I mix a lot of things, it tends to give me a lot of things. And that's why I don't like mixing a lot of things because at some point I get confused because I know a lot of things and I'm seeing a lot of things on my chart. So that's why I tend to just pay attention to this and this. So price failed to do this, so I tend to expect it to run this kind of. So you see now it has because I've silenced all the noise. I have a reason why it should hold here. And if I'm playing it safe, I would have sold here and get out somewhere around here. Because this is a particular zone. Just this thing I just deleted is a zone. So I might tend to get out here if I'm selling from here because there's a liquidity graph. So simple as that, right? Simple as that. So forget the whole CRT story. If you want me to teach you CRT, just make the comment, leave your comment, and you will have it. And if you should look at this place. CRT also happened here. CRT also happened here. So I woke up a way short to sell from here down to this zone. So what is our bias from the higher time frame that we're selling, right? We're selling to this particular low. That low is where we are selling to. So and we have a zone that is not mitigated on this time frame. But what time frame is most important is my 3 hours. So if I don't have a zone on 3 hours that is not mitigated, I'm not interested, which is this one. This has not been mitigated, but price actually is very close to it. I mean, went very close to it and it rejected from there. So this is, yeah, that's it. So let's see what price does, right? But if I am to enter anything now, I'm trying to see 50% if it is mitigated. Not there, and there's no zone. So you see, I don't want to confuse myself. Already, I know what I am trading. I only trade gold, but if you're trading GU, right? If you're trading GU, this is what I have on it. That I'm expecting more sales than buys, right? So if I am going to take any entry now, since I have this and this, right? And I'm in the middle, hmm, what I'm going to pay attention to is the recent one it created, which is this. This is how I get trades every day. So since price fails to take this, we are bearish to take the one that brought it. And as you can see, this has been mitigated, but not up to, is it up to 50%? Price might react from that zone I showed you earlier, but it's not up to even 50, it's close to 50%. So it might mitigate further and even come down. Why? Because we have a swing right here. This is a swing. Let me put a box so that you see. This is a swing right here, right? That's a swing, but okay, I think just by a pip or it has been mitigated. This has been mitigated and everything here has been mitigated. Should price break this place, it's going to run this high. You understand? Should price do something like this from where it is now? And let's say it's respected this zone, or maybe got here and respected it and start testing this one and broke this one, it's going to break this. But if it doesn't, then it's going to run this low. And as we are expecting or predicting, which I don't normally do, we are going to break this. As simple as that, right? That's what I have on it. And if should it cause an equal high, because from 3 hours we have its own here, and it did something like this, still fine. You can also sell from there. And if it doesn't give you any reason to sell, just keep buying. So you're not predicting, you're not the one moving the market. You're just you should just react just the way I'm doing it. React to it. If price happens here and it gives me a confirmation to take it. Besides, we are all taking risks here. So risk properly. Risk properly. And this is just an educational video. I'm not telling you to go and buy or sell anything. You understand? So I'm just giving you my own view on how price can be next week. That's the coming week. And I think I'm going to wrap this up now and pay attention to other things. Until my next video, I will see you on the other one. Be on the other ones. Love and peace. Bye, guys.